Welcome to Soulrise Gaming Tap Titans 2 Ultimate Build Guide. There's 5 main build types in Tap Titan 2: Pet builds, Clanship builds, Shadow Clone builds, Heavenly Strike builds, and Silent March builds. And in our previous videos, we've covered the pet builds, and the latest one in the last episode was a Clanship build, and you can see them. I'll put a link in the description above. And today's one, we are covering Shadow Clone builds. Now with Shadow Clone builds, you require 300 to 600 points. You can do it with lower amount, but the mana access build needed, then you need a high chance. If you don't have a high mana reducing artifacts yet needed for this build, which is the reason why skill point gap of 300 and 600 is dependent on what artifacts you currently have to make the build worth it or not. So because there's such mana reliant, if you haven't got the right artifacts or equipment to compensate for that, then really it's you need quite a lot of skill points, so maybe a few months into the grinding into the game. Now you can do it with minimum 300 if you have mana reducing artifacts, but I would say the best bet is to start this build would be 600 plus to get a good push, a good use out of it. Now, which pets should you use? You need to equip the lowest one of these, and the all damage or gold. Now this is only the lowest if your pet levels are below 100, because then it decides between your active or passive bonuses, and I'll show you what I mean on the video to the right. So sometimes your passive is more bonus, you get more bonus for your patches than you would do for your active, but after pet level 100 then they max out of that anyway, so it doesn't really matter. Now skill point table, this is quite high end. This is starting from 1,000, so this is, you kind of can do it a bit below that, let's say from 600, but you just basically half the points you see on the screen. But the optimum, what people tend to use Shadow Clone build, would be from these points onwards. I've got about 1,300 at the moment, so I'll show you my build, what I've got for this on the right, as you can compare. But feel free to pause this video and to change your skill points to this type and to get your build ready for this push. Now there's 3 main types of gold sources for this. Hearts of Midas. Now a Shadow Clone with pet of Hearts of Midas is a great gold source, as is consistent for a great hybrid of push and not so best for farming. Fairy gold source build is not really recommended for low skill point players, as you need to invest weighted skill points in a night tree. Only recommended for players over 700 skill points, and for those players it could make a great source for pushing builds, because it's quite skill point reliant, this build. Fairy gold is more for mid to late players, source on that level. Now chest and gold is the best source for Shadow Clone builds, as you could be less active than Fairy gold source. This is kind of like a laser man build. Again, it's recommended to wait till over 700 skill points so you can afford enough of the skill tree. The equipment to use would be, so this is secondary stats in order of importance. So your sword would be all damage or critical damage, and secondary would be Shadow Clone, Warcry, fire damage, and Heavenly Strike. Your helmet would be sword attack or main hero, being your strongest hero, and your secondary would be ground hero damage, boss damage, and flying hero damage. Your armor, so there's obviously 2 different types of gold source, and you can pick. So your first one, if you're choosing Chesterton, would be Chesterton itself and all gold, and your secondary would be Hand of Midas gold. If you're choosing a Fairy gold source, it would be a Fairy all gold suit, and then your Fairy gold is your secondary. Now if you're using your pets of Hand of Midas, then you would have your boss stealth or all gold suit on that armor, and your secondary would be your Hand of Midas or Heart of Midas gold as your secondary. Now for your aura, your sword primary or slash primary for your main, and then your chest and gold times 10 chest times 10 boss, multiple fairy, and many mana for your secondary. And of course for your slash is the Shadow Clone damage, with your secondary being portal chance, all probability, critical chance, or deadly chance. I'll show you what I mean in the video to right relating to these equipments. Now your main artifacts, Apologies, that is a typo. It shouldn't say clan ship, it should say shadow clone artifacts. Now the artifacts are ranked from the highest to lowest. So highest you would need would be to start leveling would be Drunken Hammer, your Samoski Sword, your Strife's Piece, your Hero's Blade, the Sword of Storms, Furry's Bow, and then followed by your Charm of Ancients, your Tiny Titan Tree, Helm of Hermes, Orion's Charm, a Titana's Scepter, and Elixir of Eden. Now, just to break down, the plain Shadow Clone build is the easiest thing. That's why it's known as a lazy man build, as I mentioned earlier, because all you need to do is keep activating your active skills. That's it. There's not much else you need to do on this build. If you have mana problems, best to leave all your skills at level 1, but max out your Shadow Clone first, followed by your Deadly Strike. And after you stop killing Titans or it starts getting slowing down, you max them out and then follow it by the Hand of Midas, and lastly max out Warcry and then Fire Sword and the remainder. You can sweep to a speed run by putting skill points into Ambush, ideally minimum of 10, or Eternal Darkness if you have the Ruthless and Necromancer Mythic set, and this will take power from your pushing builds. Bear in mind that. So it does make it a bit faster, but you might not push as far. Now, I hope that has been helpful for you if you're thinking about doing a Shadow Clone build. If this video has helped anyway, or if you've got any questions, please leave a comment below, and please like and subscribe and hit that bell notification for the next upcoming Tap Titan 2 build guide, which should be coming out soon. I'm trying to get these out as quick as I can. So thank you for watching, and I'll see you next time. Take care. Bye.